Woke up in a cold sweat.
The light of the throne guides me.
Woke up in a cold sweat 3 times.
You're about to drop. Having nightmares again?
Did you hear that scream? Such voice of those who
You must.
No hesitation.
all is well. Soon everyone will understand that. They all...
Following in his wake.
must cauterize the wounds at once. If you bleed too much, you'll become weak and faint. Hear that scream?
Not so
I am
long
the
ago.
harbinger of his light.
It wasn't life.
So that pain may endure for 1,000
Good thing we're on high ground. If the water won't wash us away. Living like that? Yours?
Led by his will. His light illuminates all. Something was hidden.
The Baron promised to make everything right. You just have to be
Relentlessly.
The Baron promised to make everything right. We just have to be patient.
No hesitation.
Analysis of completed actions allows the following conclusion. All, the servo auger is ready to indicate...
You must cauterize the wounds at once. If you bleed too much, you will become weak and...
What pain have you come, my brother? Exalted be the God Emperor and his scourging hand. You have done well. You have proved yourself a worthy brother. Soon blood will flow, shame will spread, and terror will cover the land of Marisportum. The filth of vice will be washed away. The people will see the wickedness in which they lived. They will turn to the light. Come with me to our humble home. From there we will carry the glad tidings of despair to the people. ever watchful. Praise be to the God Emperor. No hesitation. He guides my hand.
You are honored to witness true repentance.
I am the harbinger of his light.
Truly, I seek the righteous path. Laid through thorns for longer that way.
See, the blood is flowing. You'll stay conscious for longer.
You're right about that. You can't feel the pain of your opponent.
With our pain and our torment, we shall glorify him, brother. I rejoice to see you in our abode. A refuge for those willing to walk the path of suffering. Here we strip away our skin together with our foul thoughts. Once the lost and the faithless dwelled here, but they departed when they beheld the fervor of our faith. Our true path is not for all, but you have earned the right to know it. The torments we inflict upon ourselves do not merely cleanse the soul, though every man has need of such. The true reason for our suffering is that our pain is pleasing to him, brother. Nothing in this world happens without his command and will. You yourself have seen the despair and horror that afflict the people in Marisportum. It cannot be that the God Emperor does not know of this. It means he wills it. He wishes to see our torment. Not all his servants suffer alike. Some bear more, some less. But we who live in filth endure most of all. This is the purpose and burden of our lives. By our pain and torment, he is sated. And while we writhe in the mire, others may live in contentment. Should we find hope or cease to scourge ourselves, he will cast trials and deprivations upon his upper-born servants. So, if we would save the city above us, we must embrace our agonies! May his light sweep aside every fear that let the seer behold. There is no fervent faith in you. Guides my hand. The light of the throne guides me.
Right to the bone! It'll hurt for longer, that
Forgive my weakness. The blood is flowing, but not burning. That means to stay conscious for longer.
You're right about that. You can't feel the pain if you're unconscious.
Praise be to the God Emperor. No hesitation. Pain and our torment, we shall glorify him, brother. I have seen his will with my own eyes, brother. I was granted the gift of suffering, and in that moment, I grasped his truth and his desire. Since then, I have known no doubt. May his light sweep aside every fear that weak flesh casts upon us. Bear the burden of pain with humility and bring forth suffering with zeal.
In his name! Forgive me, Emperor. I can endure no more. My body is won't move. Get out of my head! In his name! Forgive me, Emperor. I can endure no more. My body won't move.
With our pets, bear the burden.
Emperor, grant me the strength to endure more pain in your name.
By his providence. Something was hidden. Following in his wake. Led by his will.
Ignalda managed to hammer a third nail into her own head last cycle.
Ignalda managed to hammer a third nail into her own head last cycle.
No, not this way.
Emperor, watchful.
Truly, I see the righteous path laid through thorns.
Brother, have you heard of the runaway who could not bear the burden of repentance?
Hey? What? You mean that, what's his name? The one who went off to the excavation site?
Indeed, weak in spirit. When the hand of Confessor Ursimus finds his throat, he will single his transgressions with a sacred wrath.
I am.
Cognition unit.
wish to know? Obey. Assess. Keep. Do you wish to obey every...
This land still has the chance for salvation. If we can cope, the sister will bring his light.
So, if I take on 3 more ships, I can become the 5th or 6th.
Only mine fears
The
purification.
light of the throne
Only
guides me.
suffering do we gain.
To the wayward.
The ferals are at it again. Why don't they...
Don't be angry, good master. That's the fish. Her body is old, doddery and ruined by the sea. That's why she's called rotten. The God Emperor protects. It's an honor for old rotten fish to see a true servant of the Golden Throne in person. She'll help you with anything and everything. Saint Sibelius teaches us to hold together and serve the throne. And you who are a herald of holy terror. Oh, soldier infallible, Sibelius saint. She'll tell you everything, whatever's useful. Her life's not that interesting, but maybe her story will help. The archenemy crushing with your sure hand, protecting humanity from inhuman taint, the equal of war machines across the land. Rotten fish remembers, always remembers, like her nan taught her. A verse about the saint. Repeats it so the fish doesn't forget, so the memory stays. The fish lives here, master. She used to hunker down closer to people, catch fish and grow seaweed. Then the sea blight got worse and she settled here. It's no good to scare people with her sickliness. Rotten fish is no use to anyone, so she lives off her neighbor's kindness and her faith. All banners and aquilas were his to claim. Incorrupt in our memory, he will not fade. No, master. It's the sea blight. You catch it and it gets worse with time. That's our lot and our service to him. Anyone can become a diver. You just need to learn from your own folks and carve the scriptures into your body and dip yourself in the sea before getting a suit. It will hurt so much you'd rather crawl out of your skin. But after that, it's easier to go out for a catch. And those who don't perform our ritual, the sea takes them much faster.
This so-called blight is a mutation caused by contact with contaminated water. Advanced stage. I assume younger divers managed to conceal their ailments, but she is no longer able to due to the extent of the damage. It is not contagious, as far as I can surmise. but I still do not recommend touching her.
She told you. Not much to talk about. Rotten fish will tell. She likes to pray. That's why not everyone likes her. May the God Emperor watch over him. Of course I know, Master. Ersimus has lived here with us almost since his childhood. He came when he was still very young. Spoke beautifully, told us about Saint Sibelius just the way it's told in the teachings. Then the flood happened. Ersimus got hurt badly somewhere, and he started gathering the flock around him. It's a good thing, but oh, they've all grown so eager now. But folks are drawn to them. With each passing day, there are more and more of these troubled souls. Sibelius the Good became a traitor's prey. His flesh our hopes rent asunder by villain's knife. Forgive old rotten fish, she is to blame. She holds pity in her heart, but pity doesn't suit his faithful servants. Ersimus once honored Sibelius the Infallible, but after he returned from neighboring Abzone, covered in wounds, his faith grew stronger, yet something's just not right about it. It's not for foolish old fish to judge sermons, but back then he used to speak of unity and faith, and now it's all about pain and suffering. Those who listen to him torment themselves too. It's frightening even to look at it. Devoted they may be, but rotten fish pities them deeply. Each day there are more of them. Those poor, soft-headed folk. After all, it doesn't take much wit to whip yourself. A blessed place. Sibelius the Infallible was buried here. And we, the unworthy, live and toil in the name of the God Emperor. Life here is hard. The sea's cruel, the land's dry. But that makes it all the better. You feel that it's all for a reason. Back then, simple but hard-working folk lived here. Some fixed the drains, others, like the fish, went out to the sea. They made rations from fish and seaweed. Over there in that building that's gone now, washed away. The sea fed us, but then the God Emperor grew wrathful, and the sea rose from its shores. It swept away many things, dragged many people into the water. Our divers, they're used to it, but a lot of the common folk perished. Well, no matter. We're managing for now, as long as the sea's calm. He used to be the head of the local bandits. Not the worst kind. When the sea came, he took all the power for himself. He struggled for a long time trying to set things right. In the end, he started taking the sea sludge from us and using it somehow. In exchange for us harvesting the sludge, he's been protecting our children and giving us some food. The fish can only thank him for that. If it wasn't for him, the swamp uglies would have eaten the rest of us for sure. Not long ago, the uglies came from the swamps. Mutants. Like people, but with beaks. But who is fish to judge them for their looks? So they attacked us, cutting us down without mercy. Many they even ate right there where they killed them. But then the Baron came with his cronies and drove the uglies back into the swamps. Now they stay there, a bit calmer. Sometimes they wander along the shore looking for food, but they don't bother us anymore. May the God Emperor show you the way and Sibelius guide you through it.
Led by his will.
The form of self-torment we are observing, expressed in the suppression of the ability to blink, is characteristic of the most radical cults of the God Emperor.
It grieves me with a sorrow I would not dare. It is true indeed. I... Please deceive me. This...
Well, well. Oh, thanks, Saint.
Come!
Good master, don't abandon us. These savages make us torture each other day and night. And Durkas is the worst of them. Not that long ago, just after the First Blood.
We'll help you, brother. Let's punish the heretics together.
Brings damnation. A test of my devotion. damnation! But I am his vanquishing hand! It shall be done. Shield your minds! asunder!
Without hesitation.
Well, I offer you aid in his service. To do his bidding. bidding. Fear. Do not ask again. no ground to the faithless. It shall be done. The world brings damnation. In his name. Without hesitation.
Today is a glorious day. The heretics are dead, and we have received new wounds.
Sibelius, send me a heavy ship, so that by my work I may glorify him.
I am the harbinger of his light. Give a coward boundless.
blessed sister, permit me, unworthy as I am, to humbly beg leave to lift my eyes to your radiant countenance, that...
We'll help you, brother!
Do not attempt to drown me in a torrent of words. You have already severely tested my patience. Acolyte, you have delivered this miserable creature into my presence. That is to be commended. However, I expected more prompt execution of my order. Explain the delay. Your dedication pleases me. Durkis, explain why you dared delay and what you have discovered. Concisely, if you will.
Confessor Ursimus knows nothing of the Saint Shrine. I was able to learn only the idle rumors that the wretched folk here spread about a tomb. They say the temple still stands somewhere nearby, but is hidden from sight, and that among the people there remain descendants of the shrine's servants. A bandit called Stonehead spins tidy tales of the saint, and Rotten Fish, a despicable mutant among the divers, preaches of Sibelius to her followers. I approached them, but when they saw me as one of the flock, they drove me away. That is the sum of my knowledge, sister.
Therefore, you not only gained nothing, but now cannot extricate yourself from the local cult. I agree with you, Acolyte. I will consider what is to be done with Durkis later. Take him away. On to the next matter. The locals dare to flout the supremacy of Imperial law, engaging in fights close to my camp. This is intolerable. I will see my servants sent to put this rotten place to rights, and to deliver a clear message to the people here. Any transgression invites inevitable punishment, taught to them in the only manner they understand. As you know, I have come to this disgusting place on the most sacred of errands. I must find where Sibelius the Infallible lies at rest, and you are to assist me. Seek out these Stonehead and Rotten Fish. God Emperor, forgive me. And extract from them everything they know of the shrine. Abandon all mercy. This mission is more important than lowly heretics whose very existence is a mistake. I take it they remain alive. The last surge did not claim them, we can be sure. And there remains time before another arrives.
God Emperor bless you, Honorable Master. How can Rotten Fish help you? Protects. But how could she know? Rotten Fish knows he lived here and was buried somewhere around here. But any fish in the sea can tell you that. And if she did know where his grave was, she'd have told everyone by now, so they'd all praise him. If anyone could know where the tomb of Saint Sibelius is, it would be Confessor Ursimus. He's a learned man, even knows how to read and write. Fish's Nan, may the memory of her live forever, used to say there was another way round somewhere. She sought that sacred place too, wandering through the swamps, spent her whole life looking. And in the end, she died with a heavy heart. It was she who brought the faith to rotten fish. At night, she would recite the verse about Sibelius the Infallible, our blessed guardian. And so our words of praise to silent grief gave way. Our holy saint now abides in eternal life. Sure, rotten fish will tell you. Listen. Oh, soldier infallible, Sibelius Saint, the archenemy crushing with your sure hand, protecting humanity from inhuman taint, the equal of war machines across the land. All banners and aquilas were his to claim. Incorrupt in our memory, he will not fade. For he dethroned a tyrant to rule this domain. But to our anguish unending, he was betrayed. Sibelius the Good became a traitor's prey. His flesh our hopes rent asunder by villain's knife. And so our words of praise to silent grief gave way. Our holy saint now abides in eternal life. May the God Emperor show you the way and Sibelius guide you through it.
Death Master, you're getting dirty.
The light of the throne guides me.
Eternally reigning on the golden throne that on holy terror rises.
His will be done.
Cold.
Pain and me. I bear the led by his will.
Wish to know anything further? Dream, obey, assess, keep every...
True, I am
hesitation.
The cognition unit.
Be to the God Emperor.
No point flapping our guns.
Well, did you find what you were looking for?
Poison? The Lumens don't need to know. It's your call, but keep the vial anyway as an advance for saving my boys. Toss it, sell it for a good price, whatever you want. It's a popular item, poison. Always good to have on hand. Why would you do that? It's what they want.
be all right. Take my word for it. They're fine. Bloody throne, it worked! Good stuff! Get some more, or we'll kill your boggle-eyed friends! You brought the booze. You can't be all bad. Fine. One person can go. Either you go, or you pick someone. Look out, lads! The negotiators coming your way! Well, did you get a good look? Your boggle-eyed pals are in one piece. What? We're gonna grind you all to a pulp!
Torn asunder. Your minds. Faith drives me.
The war brings damnation! my devotion. Break that enemy! Your minds! Brings damnation. Suffered for him before. My prayers will be my armor. Another wound in his service. Shall be done. Shield your minds. Fate drives me back in his service. By his will. shield is torn asunder! Your minds! The war brings damnation! Ground to the faithless. By his will. Asunder! fulfill his wrath. It shall be done! Shield your minds! Brings damnation! Ever watchful.
What are you hanging about here for? Go save the fish eyes.
No point flapping our guns.
Get a load of you. You'd never know your shirt was clean. That worked a treat, so the Baron won't be chopping off any of my limbs today. You did well. You pleased our boss. When he gets upset, people start disappearing, you know? Anyway, here you go. I owe you one. Raw material.
Thanks for my boys, by the way. The Baron's oaths would never have pulled anyone out. What is it you want? The locals call me Kelby. I lead the divers in this hab zone. I take them down to the very bottom and retrieve what the Baron really likes. With this pretty mouth here. I do remember one shore rat. Always hovering about. Was very interested in learning about us, and about the Baron's Gurgesum. He even suggested my boys gorge on that gunk and take a walk on the seabed. But we don't take Gurgesum, only real sludge. It opens your eyes a little wider, but Gurgesum stops them from closing at all. Understand? Heretical? God Emperor have mercy. Oh, didn't you recognize the saint? Who's the idolater here then, eh? That's Sibelius the Infallible. The sea roughed him up a bit, of course, but we're no strangers to that, so we dredged him up from the bottom, stood him up, and now we honor him just like rotten fish instructed. We haven't got much, you know, but something remains still. One could say you have arrived just in time to witness the last grasps of Maris Portum. What do you want to know? That first Ursimus himself was nothing special. Just a run-of-the-mill, sanctimonious preacher. He talked a lot about Sibelius. And then, he went through the gateway and didn't come back for a long time. They say he went all the way to the Silencer Sectoris, the one that was burned for its people's wickedness. I don't know what happened to him there, but he came back injured all over. Since then, all he talks about is suffering. He gathered other oddballs around him and called them the Flock of Repentance. They're not too bad, they keep their hands to themselves, and I'm grateful for that. But the ones who listen to Ursimus's new words, you see, he speaks as smooth as you like, and what he says sounds quite true. We all must suffer to purify our souls, he says. But our simpletons think that if you flay your hands and throw your neighbor into an acid vat, the God Emperor will immediately forgive you. And the worst thing is that more and more people are listening to Ursimus. It looks like our time is running out, and people have started thinking about their souls. What if the God Emperor will forgive them? So they rush to the flock. The ranks of penitents swell with every passing day. It can't lead to anything good. Ah, they're the Carvers, the Baron's minions. They paint their bodies with luminous paint so that everyone knows who they belong to. If it weren't for the Baron, may the sea take him, they would be common thugs. But he brought them together and keeps them under his thumb. He got them hooked on Gurgesum. So now they'll do anything for another dose and listen to him like he's their own father. They are all twitchy, though. Either from the Gurgesum or from not sleeping for weeks after taking it. But at least they don't suffer from nightmares like the rest of us. The same way I think of a knife in my leg. While it's in there, I'll be in a lot of pain and discomfort. But if I take it out, I'll bleed to death. After the Seaquake, the Baron and his carvers took power and have been keeping the locals in line, mostly. Anyone who doesn't like it doesn't live long. They disappear without a trace. And if anyone thinks of rebelling or mistreating the Baron's folk, he's quick to show what happens to such loudmouths. Usually in the square. He takes the person who upset him, grabs a large saw and cuts off their hands and feet. They say he always takes the head so he can keep track of the names and numbers put under his knife. Ask away. I told you, you can't. You don't. So long, sure rat. If you want anything else, come back and we will prattle some more.
Following in his wake.
The sergeant said, stay away from those. They're not right in the head, that's what he said.
identifying key features for comparison.